Good morning and welcome. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Choma Okoye.
All right, so we'll be heading straight to our newspaper headlines of this morning to see all that we have from the pages of our newspapers. And right after that will be our main conversation also for today. We would love that you be part of our community. Have a say in what we say. You can always find us at Enterprise TV News.com, and also you may like, comment respectively, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. With us today to do good to what we have on our newspaper headlines today is Barrister Fanso Feli, Barrister Law and Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning to you, Barrister.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Thank you
My
once more
pleasure.
for your time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kickstart our morning today with the Force Daily. What do we have?
Okay, we'll be starting with the Vanguard newspaper and the big story here. On Rivers State, five killed, local government headquarters set ablaze. Chairman chased out, and as Tinubu directs police to provide local government officers security. Moving on, going into autonomy, don't give workers salary to local governments. Don't give worker salary to the local government areas. That's coming from Labour begs federal government. And to the main story which we're looking at today, federal government and Nnpc. Dangote plan changes in petrol lifting. Details coming from the investigation team and details are on page 20.
All right, so let's dig deep right into that particular story, and we have it exclusively that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) is ending its exclusive purchase agreement with Dangote Refinery, opening up the market for other marketers to buy petrol directly from the refinery. This means NNPC will no longer be the sole off-taker, and marketers can now negotiate prices directly with Dangote Refinery. Ambassador Vansufeli, there's been an ongoing a story and news for quite some time now. Dangote himself, while he granted an interview to an international media platform, said it's very important that if Nigeria wants to move forward sustainably, that total deregulation of the market should be enforced. Of course, what that means is Nigerians will buy petrol at higher prices. Is Dangote actually helping us in this point?
No. The regulation will not mean you buy a higher price. The regulation will mean that anybody can go to Dangote to purchase. There will be no monopoly in terms of purchase. You understand? We're complaining about the double monopoly created.
Mhm.
One private refinery, then one single purchaser or taker of everything.
Mm.
That's monopoly. Now, but you see, the regulation will allow for um, people, different marketers to buy and go sell. Many of these independent marketers have filling stations on their own. Okay, so what it will actually take for you to buy if NNPCL is the only one selling, the profit margin is cut off. So the people cannot you cannot get directly. Because if the NNPCL add the profit margin, the marketers will buy and add another
Mm.
profit margin before it get to the end users.
Mm.
The two profit margin added and the profit margin that Dangote himself had added
Mhm.
post production.
Mm.
You now have that before it gets to the end user. That's why it was 900 plus, another state 1,000 plus.
Plus.
But if it's not deregulated, meaning that everybody cannot access, so we're only left with the profit margin of the marketers
Mm.
and that of Dangote before you sell to end users. So that makes it a little bit. But at this time of the day, Dangote had already done the damage. No, I mean NNPCL have done the damage already. Yes, when they jack up the price
Mhm.
and undertook those those first batch,
Mm.
they've used it to make an impression in the market.
Mm.
You understand? They've made an impression already in the market. So these independent marketers, when they come in, they will only reduce it to a fraction that will draw more customers. They will not be able to take it considerably down. So there will only be competition, little competition, maybe fraction, maybe 1-2 naira or something like that. Had it been at the beginning, the floodgates was open for everyone. The
Mm-hmm.
regulation was made at the beginning. Then everybody could access, and the price would not have been this high. And if NNPC had not increased the price before they did that, it would be easier. But it's still going to be tough times for Nigerians because there's nothing easy has happened
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the independent marketers, what would they do when Dangote has already increased an official NNPC has made an official price higher, and they were only going to make money from what it is they buy and all that. So at the end of the day, we are now we now have a refinery, but it's not different from having. And the reason NNPC came up with this, they're going to end it, was because the independent marketers threatened that they are going to go outside and bring it and sell lower.
Mm.
That is even what affected. That's why they now feel that no, these people are going to destroy. Let's hands off. Let's dissuade them from going outside. You see that NNPC are working against Nigeria.
Hmm.
Yes.
So that means there's something, there's a bigger fish that they are trying to hide.
Yeah, oil politics is a very dirty politics. I mean, nobody is thinking about anybody in this country. Nobody's coming to save anybody. And it's even government cannot save our citizens. Did you hear what the government said about the Lagdo Dam? Did you hear the pronouncement?
Yeah.
They say people living in that place should leave that place.
Mm.
To where? So that is the government that we all entrust our allegiance to. Government that during crisis or pre-crisis, they will tell you to come out from that place. He said they read the news that all those living along the areas that are prone to flooding should vacate those places with immediate effect. That's government. That cannot be government. Government, the reason and the essence of government is security of lives and property. To leave those places to where? The same thing applies to this crude, this oil, whatever it is. The NNPCL don't care how much you are buying it. What is important to them is this neoliberal economy.
All right. So leaving NNPC out of the picture, this market is, of course, driven by demand and supply.
Yes.
In our neighboring countries, Ghana sells for about 1,500 naira per liter. Benin sells for about 1,600 naira. Don't you think we'll still be back into the same table where it will still be expensive or scarce in Nigeria? Because if it's sold for 1,500 naira in Ghana, marketers might as well buy from Dangote and take it off to Ghana, where they'll make more profit.
Well, that is smuggling. The Dangote refinery, the marketers, and the rest of that. The reason for this production is to feed the Nigerian state. Of course, we know they take it out. They take it out, but taking it out now means nothing. The one that actually affected us was when government was subsidizing it and they were taking it out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and so when you now buy when government had paid a huge sum of it, you now take it outside to go and sell it at the high.
Mm.
That's the one now. That's part of the reason for the subsidy. But the same subsidy is still there. But at this level of Dangote, now Dangote is buying the crude from with Naira, okay? It's producing and selling, okay? Based on this indigenization, we can say the one Dangote is producing is subsidy free. It's subsidy
Yeah,
free.
yeah.
Yes, it's subsidy free. The one they were bringing before, that the one that is intercepted with the clerk of subsidy, which at the end of the day were told has been removed, and later they told us that they are paying and they are owing. And NPC said they are owing. They started looking for how to pay that money.
Okay.
That is why they increase price unnecessarily to use the citizens to offset the debt.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay,
Now
let's
let's
get
move
into
on
another
to
story.
yes.
Yeah. Still on the Vanguard newspaper. Now, coming from the economy, don't give worker salary to the LGs. Labour begs federal government. Why will Labour come out at this time to solicit and beg the federal government not to give the salaries to the local governments? Why?
despite the autonomy.
Yeah.
Not to give. Why? What are they? What do they mean by that?
That
The worker salaries.
that they should not give a worker's salary to LGs. I don't know. Do you think there's something the labor's trying to run away from? Is it possible
No,
that when such salaries come to them, they might hold it back,
Or they might not get the
they might get it in full? Though we need to digest the story, though.
There are fears. There are fears there. But I think it's too early in the day now to start saying that. I mean, there is local government autonomy now. Their funds is going to be paid to them directly. So they're going to take care of their salary. So who are they going to give the salary? They should still give it to governors or the states. The state to not pay the. The moment the first batch is paid to the local government, the state have hands up in local government salary. Yes. Well, now you're receiving your money directly, so you go and deal with it the way you want. That's what it is.
So which means the local government chairman that might be reckless with funding, the workers under them might have to pay the brunt.
It's their cup of tea. It's their cup of tea. They can go against the local government chairman. It's an executive now. They can get the councillors to impeach him now.
No, okay.
The councillors are the now. This new dispensation is going to give democracy to local government. Now the councillors can now oversight the governor, but they need to be schooled because this local government, these councillors are stooges. You know, these councillors are stooges of politicians. Anything you tell them, that's what they do. They will not even know whether they have power or not. Just like the State House of Assemblies. I mean, they won't know where their power starts and end. You find a lawmaker in the state kneeling down for a governor when you are supposed to come together to remove him.
Very true.
You understand?
Thank you, Pastor.
All right. So let's move on to the Punch newspaper. The big story here says in Naira for crude, federal government panel proposes 6-month supply for Dangote Refinery.
Okay, moving on the top strip. 2027 Obi Kwankwaso Alliance proposal will fail, says Nnpc.
And also, federal government lists the 7 states for Mpox vaccination.
Okay, moving on the bottom strip of the Punch newspaper. Nigerians in Lebanon fought federal government over evacuation claim. Details are on page 20.
And also, on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, Wando, 2 foreign firms so shortlisted to buy Trinidad's national refinery.
Okay. Lastly, before we get over to Barrister Evans Ofeli, Lagos begins trial of 2 doctors over patients' death. Details are on page 4 and 5.
All right, so let's look at 2 very important stories here, but I'd love us to start with because we just finished the oil and gas thing, but let's continue from that before we move on to the Obi Ekwankoso story. Owando, 2 foreign firms shortlisted to buy Trinidad's refinery. Is this the same old thing that Dangote had speculated on the Malta issue? Because if this is the case, it means it's Dangote might be factual with his with his story.
You see the way Dangote, you see the way Orlando overnight became a global brand. Overnight, you understand? Because the president's hand is in it. Now it's been shortlisted with 2 other foreign firms to buy a whole country's refinery. So I wish them well, but these things they do at the expense of Nigerians is where we have problem. Okay, where we will now be the one contributing to the progress of our leaders who are. That is, someone said over the weekend that there's no ethical billionaire anywhere in the world. Anywhere you find a billionaire is exploiting people. It's using people to generate wealth. And when it's unrestrained, like in our own system, where before the police or the ESC come close, their organ have been bought over. You understand? You will have a lot of poor people in such environments because what is meant for all is channeled to a few. You understand? So at the end of the day, this neoliberal economy that we have, see, because when people change status, they should know how to refocus. As a president, you are not supposed to be doing business. As a president, you're not supposed to be doing business. When you are not using the people, the economy of your country to do private business, because that's what's going on. That's what Tinubu is doing. People cannot say it. I'm the one that will say this kind of thing. What he's doing is to use Nigerians' economy to do private business. And that is called what we call neoliberalism, which is against the major Karl Marx communism theories, that people will suffer under such condition, because then it's only few people that are empowered at the expense of others. So you are going to have crisis, conflict. Karl Marx predicted all these things. You will have violence, you will have problem, you have insurgency, you will have political instability once the Commonwealth is not generated for all, but for few. And that's what is going on in our country.
Now, so with this structure, with this structure, don't you think there will be possible conflict of interest with Dangote? Because of course, if Oando finalizes this particular deal, it means they will be refining fuel, possibly coming from Nigeria. What happens to Dangote at the end of the day?
Well, Oando does not have a refinery for now.
Okay.
The accusation for the blending plant in Malta is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But Oando does not have an indigenous refinery.
Yeah, but with this deal, let's hope it pulls through.
With this deal, if it pulls through, if he gets the license, okay, to take crude, of course you are going to have competition. You understand? The question we need to ask is that the deal, is it for it to then buy crude from Trinidad and Tobago and refine, or to buy crude from anywhere and refine? If it's going to be from anywhere, Nigeria will be a very strong guinea pig for that. They will use it to fuel it and all that. Maybe they will buy WTI also and all that. But the main thing we need to understand is that we shouldn't have a leader of a country who's in business. Yes, exploiting his people in business. And we have a president that have issues with ethics. So when people were contending that he shouldn't be president, it was because of these ethical issues, which he has a tendency to throw caution to the wind. That's where we are.
Thank you, Barrister Basifin. Now let's look at the 2027 Obi Kwankwaso Alliance proposal will fail, says APC. Now, how do you think APC will sit down and propose and speak into the future, saying that Obi Kwankwaso's coming together alliance would fail?
I didn't get the question.
Okay. Obi Kwankwaso Alliance proposal will fail, says APC. Now, why do you think, or if we should look at where APC is coming from, the perspective, maybe they don't have structure to actually utilize and be able to penetrate and hold power come 2027? Do you think APC have a voice, or they have a point saying what they say?
Or possibly, is this a threat? Is this a possible threat?
Well, it will fail. They can't really say it will fail. Okay, because when I read about it yesterday, and I was looking at even the composition itself. The composition itself is Kwankwaso is only in Kano, and maybe you have some other followers or supporters in few states in the core north, and not exactly in the north central. Okay, then Obi is widely known in the south, part of north central, northwest. Northwest they have their own political agenda, they are hardliners, and they know how to project their own. So Obi Kwankwaso for me does not have the spread. Doesn't have the spread. You need someone who can command the southwest, the northwest, the north central, the northeast, and who have reasonable fledge in the south.
So who's that person?
It's only Atiku. It's only Atiku, but his own problem is that he doesn't have competence. But when you talk about regional spread, Atiku is so strategic politics that he took a wife in the east. Politically speaking, political calculation. Well known in the north central. He has companies and employ people in the north central. In the northeast, where he came from, in fact, if you go to Adamawa and the rest of that, his investment in that state alone is bigger than the investment of the government.
Very true.
Yes.
Mm.
So when you go to the southwest, he has. Then in this southwest, northwest,
Mm.
in the south here, he has the spread. Yeah, but the spread is just perhaps to win. It will Atiku deputize Obi.
And this, which is not possible.
So that's when they start to tell you that I was a vice president before.
Mm.
You were just a governor, two-time governor. So, they start to tell you all that. And you see, so it's a conundrum because Kwankwaso, I don't know how they're going to work that out. Kwankwaso is not known in the south. It doesn't have following in the south. Even in the north, it's just limited to one side. Except that people will use the overwhelming influence that Obi have. Because even Obi's Obi Dati, whatever, the Dati guy was not really known as much.
Yeah, very true.
And they won the election.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
They won the election. The country did not agree. They said it was a technical claim. INEC was bought over. But whether Obi Dati, Obi Kwankwaso, or Obi Atiku, you have to unbundle INEC first. Because with any of those Obi plus, they can still fail. This Nnpc is telling you that Obi Kwankwaso will fail. They are not saying because of voting. They are saying we use INEC to fail them. Yes, that's what
Thank you very much.
Of course, the truth remains that if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, of course, had the opportunity while he wasn't even, with the stick and all of that, what now happens now that he is in charge of everything? Well, that remains what we would see in the future. But let's see how that goes.
I want to say thank you to President Massively. Thank you for your time.
my pleasure.
To stay with us. When we return, 5 yet killed as violence erupted on post-election Monday in Rivers State. Stay with us.